Are you getting ready to sell your home in Colorado and you think that you just need good photos, a for sale sign, and maybe a real estate agent? Well, I'm here to tell you that that is not going to be enough. I can't tell you how many sellers are making huge mistakes when listing their property. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the 5 biggest mistakes I'm seeing sellers make right now, from overpricing to not staging to listing their property as is. Make sure that you follow along for this entire video so you don't make those huge mistakes that are costing you a lot of money. Mistake number 1, and this is probably the biggest: overpricing your property from 21 and 22 market stats for what your neighbor sold. And yeah, it was a lot of money. It's not where today's market is. Most sellers are overpricing their home using old comps. And what I can tell you is that you have to use the most relevant comps from 120 to 160 days ago. If you're in a crazy neighborhood that doesn't have a lot of comps, sometimes I'll go back a year, but that's the most that you can go back to look at pricing for your home. It's so important to price it aggressively and appropriately so that you get the most buyers' eyes on it, because prices are not increasing, they're more stagnant. Number 2, and the biggest mistake that I think gets your most bang for your buck, is skipping out on presentation. What I mean by that is I see so many sellers say, I can just list my home as is, I'll just do a quick clean and we'll put it up. Every single seller that puts their house on the market right now, you have to either stage your home professionally, deep clean it professionally, or more importantly, make sure that it's light and bright. Paint those ugly purple and green walls. Nobody wants those. You need to have neutral colors, seamless staging, and more importantly, all the natural light. Get your windows cleaned, do your landscaping, take out all of your personal property and clutter. Think minimal, think literally hotel. If I were gonna drop a bag, I could stay there and they don't know you're living there. I walk the sellers through all of these steps when we list their house, and what you need to do is listen to your realtor and make sure your house looks perfect, so good that you don't even wanna leave. Listing mistake number 3, and this one's pretty annoying: listing your property as is. I can't even tell you how many sellers think it's okay to just put their property on the market as is. And I'm not talking about staging or photos. I'm talking about huge costs that the buyers are gonna have to take on. So roofs, HVACs, furnace, water heaters, big ticket items that you think that the buyer is just gonna take over for you. I hate to break it to you, but no buyer can afford to make those big expenses when they move in addition to paying a 6% interest rate. So my advice to you as a seller is either offer them a concession if you can't come up with the money to do it, or get them taken care of before you go onto the market. There's no better marketing tool than saying new roof, new HVAC, new AC, move-in ready, easy, like low cost. Buyers love that right now because they're paying a lot of money for the house that you probably didn't have to spend as much for. Mistake number 4, and this is probably my favorite: not giving room to negotiate. I can't even tell you how many sellers blow up deal over a couple hundred or a couple $1,000s. Listen, sellers, it is no longer a seller's market. It is a true buyer's market here in Colorado. And it is extremely important for you to get in your mindset that you're gonna have to negotiate on things like inspection items, whether they're big or small. You're probably gonna have to negotiate on price. Over 68% of the homes that sold this summer were over a $46,000 price reduction. So put that in your budget. That doesn't mean overpriced, but just know that if you're gonna sell your home, then you're probably gonna have to leave a little bit of money on the table. But when you go to buy, you can get that money back with negotiating on the buy side. Number 5, and this just wraps everything in a pretty bow: updating your market strategy. So many agents or sellers list properties and then just leave it, not adjusting their photos constantly, not doing price reductions when they're appropriate, not having the right marketing material on the counter for the showings, not having a proactive agent to find out why the buyer really didn't make the offer. It is such an encompassing full picture right now. A seller has to be involved, the agent has to be involved, and everyone has to constantly be on their A game to negotiate in this market. So make sure you find an agent that knows what they're doing, and sellers, make sure that you are jumping on board with them because it's a team effort to get over the finish line these days. All right, here's some times for some questions and comments. If you're a seller and you're on the market right now and you're watching this video, what mistakes do you think you're making? Are you overpriced? Are you not presenting your property the best? Or more importantly, are you not willing to negotiate? I would love for you to drop in the comments. I'll answer them all. What you think you're doing or mistakes you're taking to ultimately hurt the sale of your home. And more importantly, I want to tell you a story about these sellers that I'm working with right now that I really think that it will help you kind of understand where the market's going. I have these great sellers in an incredible location. They have the most panoramic views of the Red Rocks. And I can tell you, they've been in this home, their original owners, 26 years. It's incredible. It's updated. It's move-in ready. It's gorgeous. However, because they've been in the home 26 years, they have some outdated furniture. And another challenge that they're facing is the back side of the property is getting some new construction behind the home, and it just started when we listed. So we looked at comps. We thought we were going to be, competitively priced, and we came to market aggressive. We had no showings the first 3 weeks, and we're like, what the hell? Why isn't this property selling? Okay, so this is where my job came in. We had to look at the comps. We had to ask the buyers what their problem was. And what we realized is that people couldn't see past the large furniture, and more importantly, they couldn't see past the construction behind the property. So as a seller and real estate agent, we had to figure out what's that threshold of price to get more buyers in the window to get over this construction in the backyard. And when we did that, what we did is we took out all of their furniture, they moved out the property, and we are coming in and restaging the entire house to make it seamless, move-in ready. People can put down their bags because they're not looking at their old furniture, and we're making a huge price adjustment for the construction in the backyard. Those are factors that buyers are thinking about right now. And if you have some of those things going on, you might have to readjust. And at this point, we're probably leaving $100,000 on the table. But more importantly, they have the equity in the house because they've been there 20 plus years. So get creative, be on top of the market, and be willing to navigate and adjust as buyers give you feedback. All right, sellers, here's a few things that you need to remember. We got to reframe our mindset in 2025 as we close out this last chapter. It is not the 2021 real estate market, it's the 2025 real estate market. You've got to adapt, you've got to be able to adjust and be creative in getting that property sold. And most important, listen to your real estate agent if they're an expert. I'm Kayla Schmitz, the Aspen Collection, and I would love to help you buy or sell your home. Follow along for more real estate tips.